they've been ruthless competitors all season long. I mean, they've assured themselves of plenty of home games in the postseason. Let's see if they can take advantage.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. The big men on the floor for him, Randall and Gobert. The wingmen, Edwards and McDaniel. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard. Position. And for the Celtics, the guard pair. It's White and Brown. Vucevic is out there with Jason Tatum. And it's Hauser in at the 3 spot. Greg, I think now is when we really see the value of depth as teams prepare for the playoffs.
It always helps when you can spread out your minutes, prevent stars from being overworked, and diminish the risk of injury.
Now, McDaniels, after Jaylen Brown's three-pointer that didn't go. Randall passes to DiVincenzo. Misses the 3. Range the three-pointer.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
DiVincenzo against White. DiVincenzo can't hit it.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Count that one.
Well, look. Tatum has the length and strength to do damage in there.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. He's ready to talk things through with them. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Pass to DiVincenzo. For 3, Edwards. The Timberwolves averaging around 21.5 points a game. The Timberwolves working the ball around. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Yeah, they might want to think about a high percentage look the next time.
A model of consistency stand for many years, Vucevic.
Yeah, look, Vucevic has been scoring, rebounding, and passing.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Edwards against Brown. Shot to stop the run, and it's laid in by Edwards.
Well, look, it's tough to keep Edwards out of the lane and tough to stop him once he's in there.
It's stolen by Edwards. And now the Timberwolves on the break. McDaniels outside. It's Edwards on the wing. Hits the 3 from the wing. Edwards got 5.
Difficulties playing against Anthony Edwards. He said, quote, usually you worry about his offense, but he's shown the last few years that he's a lockdown defender when he wants to be. That's something that we'll need to factor into our game plan. Ant's defense is now a concern for coaches as well. Kevin, back to you.
Terrific, Allie. We appreciate the report possession. And here's a look at some numbers for Jaylen Brown.
And he's gone dry over the past 10 games, guys. His scoring is way down, and he can't seem to fight his way out of the slump. He better get it going tonight, or they'll start losing patience with him.
Pritchard, he's checked in for Vucevic.
Well, you can't sleep on McDaniel's athleticism if you're the defense. At 6'9", he can absolutely hammer it home.
Here's Pritchard. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Yep, it counts.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
So they take the lead. He's got 13.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. both teams making some changes here. And now let's find out which teams have excelled from the free throw line in the season's second half. Third spot, the Celtics.
They are really dialed in at the line, especially since the break. I mean, really shooting an impressive percentage from the line.
And so it's Pritchard with it. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. They trail by 1. Pass to Walsh. Here's Shireman, defended by Dosunmu. Here's White. Shoots over McDaniel. And it's White missing.
Well, he's got the green light in that situation. They want him taking that shot, even if he didn't get it to go.
Dosunmu, shot's good.
Well, good recognition there from Reed to realize that his best decision was to move the ball.
Pritchard passes to Walsh. Fires the 3. Scored the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure these guys can keep this.
Expect there to be peaks and valleys, but you've got some excellent scores on both sides.
A nice shot by McDaniel.
Yeah, that's a good sign for McDaniels. They need him to shoot with confidence.
Here's Shireman, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
The Timberwolves leading. Snatched away. And it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. Second team.
Timberwolves on defense. Celtics passing it around. Whoops, they pick off the pass.
Just waiting for a chance to make a play.
Before the defense is set.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently not the defender.
I mean, come on. That's a shot you expect him to make.
The rebound by Dosunmu. And here is McDaniel. Lets it go with a 3. Trains it from beyond the arc. McDaniel's got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for the Timberwolves. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be... And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Minnesota.
Well, the thing about hitting early 3s, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
They've out-hustled the opponent so far in this one. A lot of points in the open floor, and that's giving them the advantage.
We've got Peyton Pritchard, and it's Tatum in at the small 4. That's the Boston 5. We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
Thanks a lot. The Timberwolves coach, Chris Finch, said, "We're a team based on movement, cutting, and fluidity. That burden also falls on Anthony Edwards to move and accommodate his teammates. For his part, Ant said his focus is being what the team needs me to be, a leader by example, and showing them that I'm coachable." Kevin, back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. And he can't hit the second. And now we're being joined by our 2K insider, Shams Charania, who's calling in with a good story. Shams, what do you have?
Thanks. With players signing rich extensions, highlighted by Devin Booker's 2-year, $145 million max contract, we're quickly approaching a time when so-called supermax players will be making over $1 million per game. As shocking as it sounds, the reality is that the best players are already worth more than that to their teams.
It's all about results. Thanks so much for the report, Shams. It's Randall with the drive. Chalk up 2 there. Randall's got 5 points so far.
Watch out. When Randall gets going, he's carrying some serious force.
Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one. And stuff to get the 2 points. Outside Conley. Pass to Dosunmu. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. Changes here for the Timberwolves. McDaniels comes in for Dosunmu. And Anthony Edwards subbed in for Highland. Pass to White. Stolen by Reed. McDaniels outside. For three, Edwards. Edwards cashing in from outside.
Well, cashing in from the corner. Edwards hasn't seen a three he doesn't like.
Well, Coach, we know there's a lot of expectations tied to a #1 pick.